So when I decided to do the latest Big Papa movie review, I thought it only fitting we worship him in his current magnificent form, with maximum ass-to-chair action,
and
extreme mumbling and heavy breathing. The opening is great with some shitty writing telling us about the Brodsky Krug, an international crime syndicate, and their leader, Joseph El Tiburon Salazar. Scintillating stuff, and a lazy way to tell the story.
Large areas of omission.
Honestly, I can't be bothered reading the rest of this crap because I'm sure it's pointless. The intro is basically setting up some scenario about drug dealers and police engaged in a never-ending battle, as if the war on drugs isn't the biggest waste of money that's ever existed, and actively aided by the governments. But anyway, back to the movie. Luke Goss went from starring opposite a crazy Wesley Snipes in Blade 2, to 15 years later sitting in a room with Steven Seagal, who's just mumbling and struggling to breathe and stay alive.
See, it's nice to know you're still ethical, that's good.
Now, everyone just take a moment there and tell me what you think he said in the comments. Let's see how accurate you are.
I'm just a cook.
Now, I don't want to spoil the movie for everyone, but yes, Sensei Sit Down does exactly that for at least 95% of the time he's in this movie. For that whole 15 minutes he's actually in the movie. Let's just pause in this scene and tell me what you see. I mean, other than our handsome master in all of his masculine glory, what else do we see in the frame? A couple of chess puppies that Seagal would have insisted having in the scenes whenever possible. That's what I meant to say.
Okay, well, allow me.
The bad guy, Salazar, asked to be in this movie because he seems to have an obsession with Seagal's nutsack.
you've got balls.
Well, thank you for noticing that. My girl here, she knows that for a fact.
Sensei gives the ultimatum to all the women on set under the age of 20. They've all been told what's about to happen.
Everybody knows the drill.
All right, guys.
Which then causes this poor young lady to look around for an escape route. But I'm sorry, love. You can't escape the sausage fingers. Big Papa already eyeing off the woman in the background and needs her breathing if he's gonna make her suffer the best way he knows how.
Make sure we do not kill this bitch, you hear?
This is what I need to teach you so that you can do the same to me. You understand?
Now somehow Sensei Seagal roped in George St. Pierre, an actual fighter, to take part in this masterpiece. Now I imagine GSP saw Seagal training Anderson Silva and Lyoto Machida and instantly wanted to learn some moves from Big Papa Pubic Lice.
Yeah, I just,
Now, there's not a lot left in the budget once Sensei Sweet and Sour takes his salary and we take into account the lunch expenses, so the action scenes are looking a little slim, but Seagal saves it with his realistic combat skills. Sensei Sperm Bank earning every dollar this movie, with no need for a stunt double as he strides across the grass with the grace of a gazelle. Say that shit 10 times fast.
Quickly!
Big Papa then represents his native Russia and mate
Vladimir Putin.
with some Russian abuse aimed at poor GSP, who only speaks French, and a little bit of English.
Давай, сука, билет. Пидорас. Пидорас! Сука, билет! Я дурак! Пидорас.
Now, obviously, sitting in a chair for extended periods can be dangerous, so Big Papa Pudgy Butt had to call in the reinforcements in the form of stuntmen. I mean, he can't be expected to do all of the sitting scenes himself, you haters.
Yo, fuck nuts!
Obviously, we're really only here for Sensei's Sunday roast, and nobody even cares about the movie at all. Now, what I find great is the constant deep breaths and sighs that Sensei Puffin Stuff constantly makes in every single scene.
When you want to stay out of jail, do you think I'm here to put you in jail? No, sir.
He ain't the police.
Wrong.
I make a living in the movies, but for the past 20 years, I've also been a cop.
Sorry, I'm wrong. I am wrong. He is the law. What the hell was I thinking?
I don't care about the law.
Now, I won't bore you with all the rubbish in between, but Baldy is put in with a bunch of people that nobody cares about to go and pick up the body of the dead drug dealer from earlier. The one that likes Seagal's balls.
You've got balls.
Apparently he isn't dead, and now he's going to be an informant or some bullshit for the FBI. Nobody cares. Now, this is definitely not a stunt double used again for the sitting scenes, and then just dubbing in Master Mumble's ramblings over the top later.
Did anybody on the team question the orders? No, sir.
More shots of the previously mentioned captive hot blondie who's well endowed in the chesticle region. I'm sure she also paid the ultimate price to become an actress. Quite possibly, she was involved in some raunchy menage a trois activity with the other chestically gifted young lass. Big Daddy lives a life, and you can't hate on him for that.
It's good to be the king, isn't it?
There's a massive mind-blowing twist as Seagal was name-dropped for snatching the birthday and virginity of a 21-year-old girl.
But I did hear a name.
Did? What was the name?
Yours, sir.
Sensei is disgusted and wouldn't bother with anything over the age of 20. Idiots. Briefly, the US Marshal people have to hold the Seagal sack lover for 24 hours before pickup and transport, so they keep him on the top floor of some currently active hotel. Because that's a safe house, apparently. It's a Seagal movie, so you know it must be genuine. Baldy asked the lead tough female if she's ever had the pleasure of smelling Seagal's used underwear.
We've all got secrets. You know the truth.
Now, they stay on her face for way too long, making me think she's gonna turn out to be bad. I mean, this is my first time watching this shit. Masterpiece. So we're experiencing this joy together, but she's got dirty all over her face. And not in the way you're thinking, boys. Now, we're about 45 minutes in, and Big Daddy has had one mild action scene and a few scenes of him sitting and talking to Jared Nomak.
You know, I get the feeling that you're talking around me.
I don't want to be the one to say it, but that would be almost impossible given your sheer presence and center of mass, oh rotund master of mine.
And, you know, using some fucking Zen riddles or some shit.
It's kind of amazing how he chooses to mock and belittle Zen riddles when he's the one always harping on about Zen and Chi and that kind of shit.
There's an old Zen story of two monks that were walking across the bridge. And the junior monk said to his teacher, he said, "What is the Buddha nature?" And the other monk picked him up and threw him in the water. You know?
I went over with him kind of a Zen method of breathing, and the Zen masters in Zen archery too, they don't pull the arrow.
And, you know, using some Zen riddles or some shit.
I do love when he gets all potty mouth and drops the F-bomb, especially when it's in a sentence about how awesome he is. Like,
When they call me in, it ain't a fucking joke.
Plus,
When they call me in, it's your fucking neck.
see, he has this obsession with this life or death scenario in his head. I think that he actually believes that life, or perhaps his life, is just a constant battle for survival against everybody trying to kill him.
When they call me in, you're gonna live or you're gonna fucking die.
They'll come to your dojo or your house and say, it's on right now.
Yeah.
One of us is going to live and one of us is going to die.
Yeah.
Or one of us is going to be unconscious and maybe he'll live and maybe he won't. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is tough being a deadly ninja master like Big Papa Seagal.
That's how it was.
Yeah.
That's how I was raised.
Yeah.
Not in America.
And it's at this point that we get to analyse and bask in some of Big Daddy's finest dialogue moments. Including and beginning with the line that we all know and love,
And
it spawned an awesome t-shirt and became the inspiration for a religion that will one day change the world, one cookie at a time. Seagalism. We're cooler than Scientology, and our leader is much more handsome.
Hi. Stephen, you're a very attractive man and a little bit of a heartthrob as well. Have you always found it so easy to attract the ladies?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know.
This is the fucking come to Jesus moment.
And let's just analyse that for a moment. I think his statement has two meanings. One, this is your time to absolve yourself of your sins, be free, perhaps have an awakening. Two, Big Daddy Jesus is the Messiah himself, and you now have come to him, he, they.
And I was not born on a fucking turnip truck, man.
I believe that what he is telling us is that he does not like turnips, and would not choose this truck as his place of birth. That, or he's trying to tell us that he didn't just fall off the back of a truck, meaning that he isn't stupid, he is wise.
you serious?
But one thing you can't deny is that goddamn goatee on his face. I mean, look at it. It is the best. Let's take a moment to appreciate him in his fine form. I'm not gonna lie, I also like that big nostril garage he calls a nose. And those glasses, almost too small for his gigantic head, but not for his beady little eyes.
And I was not born at night. I was born born in a bright fucking sunny day, man, and I've been doing this for a long time.
Worked for the last 35 years or so to perfect it.
April 10, 1952, on a bright sunny day.
Do not think I'm fucking new. Do not think you can play me.
No, Big Papa, I don't want to play you. I want to play with you. Then he makes some more threats and swears a bit more, so we know that he's hardcore and absolutely means business.
Let's get to the fucking nitty-gritty here. What the fuck happened?
Now, for a second I thought this movie had permission to film on the World Trade Center, but then I remembered this is in Romania, where they let wankers like this live and run amok, so it's not so impressive.
Steven Seagal needs to play the next Batman. Christian Bale did quite a good job, but I think even at his ripe old age, his age and wisdom, I think Steven Seagal would make an excellent Batman.
I remember seeing the Steven Seagal movie where he was under attack and he was in the house. And
you are not Steven Seagal.
The bad guys overrun everyone, and there's a bunch of bad shooting scenes that just fill in time between Sensei's scenes, so we're not going to bother wasting our time. It's probably about this point in the movie that I looked to see how far I had left to watch. Now this for me is one of the best scenes in the movie, but not for the reasons that they were hoping.
That's kind of how I look at it. You agree?
Seagal literally forgets for a moment that he's in a movie and stares directly at the camera for a moment, which is something you're never supposed to do. I mean, unless it's that fourth wall breaking nonsense they do. But sometimes you just forget you're an actor, especially if you're just sitting around chilling all day, not acting. And this is the reason why I love this man. Why bother reshooting the scene? Just keep it in.
I try not to act, you know. I think the most important thing in acting is to not act.
Big Daddy Drillbit just found out Nomac's been trying to steal all the cookies and birthdays for himself, so he gets up with the speed and agility of a buffalo with hate. He gets up, does a little jiggle to get his balance, and does the chubby bloke thing of pulling down his top. Now notice the sound of the chair spinning violently due to the wild takeoff from Big Daddy's rump, causing earth tremors and hence the previously mentioned vicious chair spin. These two lads are supposed to kiss in a rough and passionate embrace, but Big Papa Pixie Dust breaks it up because he won't accept any love scenes that don't involve him and a young busty woman.
That's enough, soldier. Stand down.
Big Papa Sweet Paprika earns his paycheck before sitting straight down again before the arse-cheek dents in the chair have had a chance to recover. And then hits me with another of my favourite lines that I've saved from Seagal movies.
Which is another real fucked up kind of bizarre combination of monkey shit.
Finally, at the 64-minute mark, Sensei Sliced Ham strolls in and lets everyone know just how important he is.
Who the hell are you? I'm the guy you should have called when your shit went sideways.
Jesus Christ. That's Jason Bourne.
No need for credentials or introductions. Just look at those damn sunglasses. You instantly know he runs the show. One of the young hotties dies early in the movie, so I can only assume that she didn't do everything that was requested of her in the private auditions in Big Papa's bedroom. Whilst another of the actresses reenacts the noise and struggles from her private audition with Big Daddy Grabby Hands.
Take her!
Nomak says he'll challenge Seagal to a duel to the death, and obviously Sensei's samurai sword responds accordingly. Now he's finally getting to the bottom of the cookie thief, becoming suspicious that one of the female actresses may have indeed stolen the cookie from the jar.
Oh man, I'm starting to think that maybe the rat was Amanda Chavez.
Okay, alright, now finally Big Papa is actually here to save the day. After the two previous teasing appearances, he storms in and single-handedly clears the room without even having to aim for even a second. All of that is nonsense though, because the real awesomeness happens when Seagal walks up the stairs with his little pistola and is popping people without even having to look, let alone aim. And in his left hand. F***ing assassin.
I'm trying to pass down some of the secrets that have made me a master shooter.
I can only imagine Seagal must have been paid a big salary for this role, because he walks up this flight of stairs all by himself. I mean, he uses the railing for a lot of it, but not the whole way. And it's all his own legs. No stunt doubles. Screw all you doubters out there who say he's lazy and doesn't do any physically active stuff because he's a lazy sloth. Screw you all. Finally, we get to see what Big Daddy Double Dragon is made of when he battles against GSP, an ex-UFC champion. They both fall to the ground, and luckily for GSP, Big Papa Panda didn't fall on top of him. Big Daddy Donut Goatee doing his little arm-waving pose things, and he beats the hell out of an actual fighter with ease. Fun fact, this isn't actually a movie. GSP's challenged Seagal to a battle to the death. Hold up. Stop the record. This is bullshit. Are we supposed to believe that Big Daddy Walrus Butt just got punched and knocked to the ground? And even more unbelievably, he tumble rolled and stood up by himself. The knife fight lasts about 5 seconds, and Big Daddy Waving Hands gets the upper hand quickly because, well, he's a master of the swords and knives. Anyway, long story short, bad guy ended up getting away because he was many steps ahead of everyone. It turns out that the DEA agent chick is the sister of the bad Russian guy, and none of the authorities knew that because background checks don't exist apparently. Nicely done.
Okay, USA.
Seagal mumbles some more nonsense before Nomak signs away his acting future by taking part in this movie.
That's good to know, Major Jensen. And if that's your statement, then I'm satisfied to sign it.
And then Big Papa Wisdom leaves us with possibly the most important message ever. The meaning of life.
See, it's nice to know you're still ethical. That's good.
This is called Rosability Loans.
What was the point of the movie? Don't really know. The important thing to note is that the actual movie is pointless and stupid. More importantly, Seagal spends a total of about 9 minutes and 12 seconds on screen for the entire movie. I'll round it up to 15 minutes to be generous, but I was disappointed. I didn't get my Big Daddy fix.
Oh, well, okay.
The scenes that he was in were gold, and I for one am glad he wasn't born on a turnip truck at night. Now what did you think, my friends? Did you think Big Papa would kick the crap out of GSP in a fight to the death, with brainstem severing permitted? Did you dig Seagal's awesome brown leather jacket? Let me know your thoughts, Seagalians. Until next time, make sure to mumble your way through every line you ever speak.
I'm curious, would you have shot Chavez by the van that day if you suspected she was Salazar's sister?
Breathe extremely heavily whenever possible. But above all, stay awesome. Peace, legends.
Sorrow.